Welcome back to video 2 of the Health and Wellness Workshop series. Again, I'm Dr. Lila with Connection Chiropractic. The last section we talked about sleeping positions. This section we're going to be talking about walking you through an entire day and all the things that you should think about throughout your day to help support your spine in your healing process. So, how do we start our day? We're sleeping. So, this would be in an ideal sleeping position if you remember from last time. Most of us wake up something like this. And our alarm clock goes off and we hit snooze. And then snooze again. And then snooze again. Oh shoot, I have to get up. And then we run out of bed. Think about what you just did to your body. When we go from a dead sleep to, oh my gosh, I have to get up, we've just strained all of our muscles all at one time. And that's really tough on your body and a tough way to start the day off. So think about how we can support our spine. If you're going to go for a long run, what would you do first? You'd warm up. You'd warm up the muscles and joints a little bit, then do some stretching, and then move on throughout your run. And that's exactly what we should do at the start of our day. So when we wake up in the morning, if you just add 2 stretches to your morning routine before you jump out of bed, it will make the hugest difference in how you feel and how your body functions throughout the day. So we wake up, you can move your knee elevator out of the way if you're using one. And the first stretch that we want to do is we want to stretch the front of our body. So you're going to point your toes and you're going to reach up as high as you can and make yourself as long as possible. So this is going to activate the back muscles and stretch the front muscles. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds and then relax. The second stretch is flexing your toes towards your head and reaching up straight ahead. And this will activate the front muscles in your spine and stretch the back muscles in your spine. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds and then relax. Once you've done that, now all your muscles are activated and warm. We can roll over to our side and push ourselves up out of bed. Now, I've heard from some people, oh, I don't need to get up like an old person, I can just get up. But in reality, we're just supporting our spine in every way possible. So instead of twisting and rolling out of bed or just dropping onto our feet, we're actually supporting our spine in the process of getting up. So then we get up and we go and we stand over the sink like this, getting ready, brushing our teeth, whatever we do in the morning. Look at what I'm doing to my spine right now. It's starting to get strained and fatigued. If I'm doing this again first thing in the morning, it's just going to make the whole day more stressful for our spine. So instead of just bending over, put one foot in front of the other. And if you put one foot in front of the other, bend your front knee. As I bend over, now I'm hinging at the hips and I'm not straining my low back in the process. So if I do this and I'm splashing water on my face, brushing my teeth, doing everything I do to get ready, now I have the proper support for my spine. When one leg gets tired, just use the other leg. And then we're using these big support muscles that our body has designed to carry the weight of our entire body, instead of trying to use our little tiny postural muscles to do that when they just don't have the strength to do that and are not designed to do that. They're designed to hold up one little section of our spine, not our whole body. So make sure when you're getting ready in the morning, but also doing dishes in the kitchen, anytime you're standing over the stove or the sink, get one foot in front of the other. And if you have cupboards in front of you, just open up the doors of the cupboards and you can put one foot inside, and that will give you even better support so you can get more over the top of the sink. So then we get in our cars, and many of us in our cars sit something like this. Again, what are we doing to our spine as we're sitting? We're straining the low back. Best position for our spine in our car, and while we're sitting, is to be up as straight as possible. And we want to be close enough to the pedals that we're not having to reach out to to get to the pedals. We want to keep our pelvis straight. And a general rule of thumb is that we want to keep our toes and our nose facing the same direction so that we're not twisting our spine as we're going throughout the day. So driving is the same way. Get both feet out in front of you. Most of us just use one foot while we're driving. Get the other one out on the footrest on the other side so that our toes and our nose are facing the same direction. Same with our hips. And then we have proper support for our spine while we're driving. DMV says 10 and 2 is the proper position. I say 9 and 3 is much better for our spine. Because if we're at 10 and 2, what happens when we start to get stressed? We go like this. If we put our hands at 9 and 3, now our shoulders are relaxed down. So if we get tense, we're just going to do this. We're not going to get our shoulders up in our ears like we do at 10 and 2. So 9 and 3, nice relaxed position, and we still have full control over our car. So then we get to work, and we sit in a chair, and most chairs are designed for us to slouch. This is how our chairs are designed today because it gets us closer in, and we can fit more people in a smaller space if we have everybody slouching. However, it's not good for our spines. So the best way to sit while you're at work is to make sure that your hips and your knees are a little, so your hips are a little higher than your knees. And in order to do this, for the most part, we're going to have to scoot to the front of our chair. We're going to take up a little bit more space. So right in this position, you can see my hips are just slightly above my knees, and this supports the proper curve in your low back. If I lower down and I put my knees higher than my hips, I naturally want to slouch, and it supports the slouching position, and it will strain our spine. So getting yourself up a little higher, getting those knees a little bit lower will help us feel more comfortable and like it's less work to sit up nice and straight. Keyboards. We want our keyboards, if we have a computer job, we want our keyboards to make a 90-degree angle with our elbows and our shoulders. So we don't want them to be up here, we don't want them to be down here, we want them to be right at 90 degrees so that our wrists can stay generally straight. This is going to be the best position for our spine and supporting any challenges we may have with our wrists, with our elbows, and with our shoulders. On that same note, we want our elbows to be in by our sides when we're typing. We don't want to have to reach out for typing, because look what happens to my mid-back and my shoulders. They're getting stressed and strained. That's why often people have this tension in their shoulders or their upper traps up here. It's because they're reaching too far for their keyboard and mouse. So getting those elbows back in, 90-degree angle here, that's going to help support your spine much better. In addition, we want your monitor, the top of your monitor should be right at eye level so that we can scan down the entire monitor and see everything that's on the page without having to tilt our head down or up for hours at a time. And again, remembering toes and nose face in the same direction. So we get through our day at work and we grab our bag to go. And most of us have these big briefcases where we're carrying our laptops, we're carrying our entire life maybe in our bag. And so we walk around like this. What's happening to my shoulders? They're getting strained. Oh, this side's tired, I'm just gonna switch to the other side. So the more weight that we're carrying in our hands, the harder it is on our spine because it's constantly getting stressed going from side to side. Absolute best choice is a rolly bag that you switch from side to side. Second best choice is carry less than 5 pounds. Most of us in a big city can't do that. So third best choice is backpack with 2 straps for your shoulders so that we can carry the weight evenly on both sides. That will keep our shoulders even, and it will make sure that the weight isn't crossing the midline of our body and pulling us down in one direction. So when you're carrying a backpack, the other thing that you want to note is where does the bottom of the backpack sit? Most kids have the bottom of their backpack way down here, so when they walk, they're walking like this. Just standing like this is uncomfortable for me, so I imagine you guys watching this can see how uncomfortable it actually is. The bottom of the backpack should really be right above the butt, right in the small of your low back. That's the best position because that's where a lot of our body weight is. And so getting the weight of the bag there, our body weight's able to balance it much better and it's much less pressure on our shoulders. So general rule of thumb for purses, for ladies, less than 5 pounds. For bags, carry it on both shoulders or have a rolly bag. One more thing for gentlemen, if I take my left hand and I sit on it, what's happening to my pelvis now? Now it's tilting. What does this represent for men? Their wallets. Many men carry their wallets in their back pocket and they sit around on a crooked butt all day. And if we're twisting our pelvis all day, that's going to aggravate things and it's going to make it harder for our body to hold. So get those wallets out of your back pocket and put them in your front pocket so that pelvis can stay even. At the end of the day, a lot of us get to the end of our day, we go home, we sit down in our favorite recliner or in our couch and we're like this. What's happening to my low back in this position? It's all strained again. So in order to get proper support, we want to put some pillows here so that we can sit up straight. Now, I don't expect you to sit up perfectly straight when you're relaxing watching TV at the end of the night. However, we do want to still support our spine in those positions. So if you think about how your living room is set up right now, one of those things is toes and nose facing the same direction. So if the TV is off at an angle and we're constantly sitting like this, that's going to strain our spine just as much as sleeping on our stomach is. So we want to try and get in a position where the TV is directly in front of us and our toes and our nose can face the same direction. Then you can support yourself with a nice pillow behind your low back so that you can relax and lounge and still feel like you have good support in your low back. Throw pillows work great for this. Most of us already have some of those on our couch. Other things that can work, you can get a bed wedge, a triangle pillow, where you can literally just lean back. You can use just a regular bed pillow and put it behind you. Or there's roll pillows. There's round or semi-round pillows, like half a circle, that are good for the low back support, but then you have to sit up straight. So decide how you want to sit and then build the support pillows around that to make sure you're still super comfortable and relaxed throughout the evening, but your toes and your nose are facing in the same direction and your spine has the proper support. So that concludes the Take Us Through a Day section of the Health and Wellness Workshop.